Hi, my name is Joseph Parker, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Right, so Tyson Fury has responded to the rumours that Deontay Wilder, he's willing to accept $10 million, about £8 million, to step aside so him and Anthony Joshua can get it on for Undisputed, providing, of course, Wilder gets the winner. Now, Tyson Fury, he was doing his usual workout mornings, and he done one with Mark Wright, and afterwards they had like a bit of a Q&A. And Mark Wright asked him about Deontay Wilder stepping aside, and what about you versus Anthony Joshua for Undisputed. Tyson Fury says, I ain't paying him no damn step-aside money. And we'll get into what it is that Tyson Fury says, and we'll have a little bit of a chinwag about it. So this is Tyson Fury's response. We've got the rematch with Wilder on at some point, and then we've got the two AJ fights. Obviously, when I batter him, he's going to want a rematch. Wilder's got a rematch clause right now. Some newspaper reported that he wanted $10 million to step aside, but I'm not going to pay him no money to step aside. I'd rather take his scalp again. I'll beat him in the ring. I wouldn't pay him even $2 million to step aside. I'd rather give him another battering. I'm going to take him out again for the third time, hopefully at the end of the year. Then we're going to go into 2021 for the biggest fight in boxing history. Two British heavyweights, me and AJ. We're going to battle it out for all the gold. Tyson Fury's statement. Now, there's a couple of ways to look at this one. First of all, if he did pay Deontay Wilder step aside, and if Joshua and Fury do fight now for Undisputed, the ramifications of that fight afterwards will be that most of the belts will get dispersed, because obviously Dillian Whyte, he needs his mandatory shot with the WBC. Kubrat Pulev needs his IBF. Alexander Usyk needs his WBO. So the belts are going to be dispersed, and of course then you've got, throw in the equation as well, that Wilder is going to want his opportunity to fight the winner. Kubrat Pulev, he's also going to want the same kind of deal for stepping aside. So Tyson Fury, he's saying, I ain't going to pay him no damn step aside money. I'd rather just get him in the ring, beat him up again, and push him to the side once and for all. Now, in some ways, I can fully understand that one. It saves the potential for a Joshua Fury rematch. Of course, both of these guys are going to want a rematch. Of course they are. You can't put Joshua Fury in one time. You're going to need to see it twice. Both of these guys are champions. It is for Undisputed. The loser is going to want to have an opportunity to try and win their belts back. Well, for Undisputed, ideally. But the rematch is going to have a little bit of a lackluster to it if all the belts get dispersed. So in some ways, I can agree with Tyson Fury about just get the Wilder fight, get it done, out of the way. It's a risk, that's for sure. While Wilder is limited, we can put it that way, he's always going to have that puncher's chance. Now, most people wouldn't favour Deontay Wilder to beat Tyson Fury, that's for sure. And even if Tyson Fury goes in there and absolutely batters him with just a jab in the third fight, some of the Wilder fanatics will come out with all kinds of other conspiracies like they did in the second fight and all this kind of stuff and that. But I know some people will say, well, maybe Tyson Fury is just not ready for Anthony Joshua. That's why he's saying it. He'd rather go fight Deontay Wilder because it's an easier fight and almost a guaranteed win for a good payday, rather than risk it against Anthony Joshua. Now, I'm not necessarily of that opinion. I do think that Tyson Fury sees Wilder as an easier fight than Anthony Joshua. I know what it is that Tyson Fury says, that Deontay Wilder, he's the second best heavyweight around, the biggest puncher, blah, blah, blah. Then the next day he'll say, well, Wilder's completely crap, his punch is overrated. There's been loads of fighters in the history of boxing who punches harder than Wilder because they have punched and knocked out and stopped bigger named opponents. Wilder has only done it to gatekeepers, shall we say. So Fury, he will switch it, and that's fine. But I think in reality, again, he's going to be selling the Wilder thing as a big puncher and a dangerous opponent because he needs to sell the third fight. The more pay-per-views they do, the more people they can put into the arena, the more money he's going to get paid. It's a business thing, okay? But in reality, he will see Anthony Joshua as a tougher fight for him than Deontay Wilder. Wilder's got that one big punch, one-trick pony, shall we say. Joshua, he's got a hell of a lot of ring IQ. He can hurt you with both hands. He can fight on the back foot. He can fight aggressive. He can fight on the inside. He can fight at long range. And of course, Joshua, he fights better against taller opponents. Look at his opponents. You'll see which ones he's struggled with at times compared to those that he hasn't. And he's only ever really struggled to one tall fighter, really, which was, of course, Vladimir Klitschko. Joshua, he got hurt against Dillian Whyte. He got hurt against Carlos Takam, he got hurt against Povetkin, and of course he got hurt against Andy Ruiz Jr. And a lot of that is because he wasn't using what his God gifts are, his height and his range. In the Andy Ruiz Jr. rematch, the penny finally dropped, and he used it and he won. People say that he was running, but yet if Tyson Fury would do it, wouldn't they say that that was a masterclass? We have to show the same energy, right? So, a fight between Fury and Joshua, is it the biggest fight in heavyweight history? Yeah, bet your damn backside it is. Certainly in British history, without a doubt, in my opinion. But I think that with a step aside, ideally it would be great if Wilder would take step aside. As I said before, I don't know where all these reports have come from that Wilder saying it's fake news. I don't trust these people who say that it's fake news. I just don't trust them. As I said before, I think that if any of these Wilder fanatical channels from across the pond tell me that the sky is blue or if it's raining today, I ain't going to believe them. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see if that turns out to be true or not. But either way, he's unwilling to pay Wilder. As I said, people will have difference of opinions as to what they feel about that. Some will see it as he's ducking AJ. Some will see he just wants to get Wilder out of the way. It's an easy payday. I would personally say it's an easy payday. It is an easy payday. I mean, Tyson Fury, when he switched on, he ain't losing to Wilder on a month of Sundays. He ain't doing it. So, yes, it's a much easier fight for him. But again, that's just my opinion. You drop me yours in the comment section below. Click a thumbs up, subscribe, catch you all in the next video.